Hey guys, what is going on? Dylan here. So Crota'S is the newest reprised raid in Season 22, and they have changed a few things up, making this a little bit more difficult than the first version of this in Destiny 1. So naturally, I wanted to make a guide helping you get across this raid for your first time. This is going to be every encounter explained in Crota'S End, and also the red border chest and secret chest as well. All right, so before even starting any encounter, go across to this chasm here, and there's going to be 3 sets of 2 statues. And this is going to dictate the statues you need to illuminate later on in the raid. So, to the far left, you're going to see 2 statues there. In this scenario, the left one is kind of on fire. In the middle section right there, another set of 2, which the left one again is the one on fire. And then down there will be the last set, and in this scenario, it is the right one. So our order is going to be left, left, right. Alright, so we have the opening part of the raid here. If you just saw, I picked up a buff called the Chalice of Light. This is going to be a reoccurring theme throughout the entire raid. Basically, when you pick up a Chalice of Light, you'll see a bar on the left side of your screen that is going to be slowly filling up. Once that Chalice of Light buff is completely full, you will have a debuff called Engulfed in Light, and you have 10 seconds to have somebody else take that buff off of you. So you see it just filled up there, and now someone else is going to take that, and what that does is that makes me enlightened. For the purposes of this opening bit, you actually enlighten the plate that you're standing on, and that will start building a platform that will take you to the remainder of the raid. So you enlighten the plate, and you just stand on it, and it will be slowly building a bridge up over time. So kind of what you need to do here is kind of play hot potato with that Chalice of Light, making sure that nobody has it for too long so that they don't die. Once you pass off that Chalice of Light, you will receive another debuff called Drained of Light, and you cannot pick up Chalice of Light until that debuff has gone out. So you just keep ad clearing, standing on the plate, and over enough time, you will start building the bridge. As you can see here, it is being built, and you just make your way and jump down, and you will then be at the first encounter of the raid. All right, so for the first secret chest, you're going to be making your way along the path here, and there's going to be this lantern here that has like a hole in front of it, and a yellow bar climbs out of it, and it's just before the incline, the first incline you would come across. You're going to kind of skew off to the left here, and I know it's really dark and kind of tough to see, but there's going to be a door back here, and basically just inside that door is going to be your first secret chest, netting you 5 spoils, and then some loot that you've already obtained. Alright, so finally the first encounter. So, just like before, you're going to pick up a Chalice of Light buff, and you're going to be passing it around, making people enlightened. What you're going to be doing with this encounter is there are going to be these lanterns here. So if you can see on the left, there's a debuff called Engulfed in Darkness. If that reaches 0, you wipe. There is Weight of Darkness. Once that Weight of Darkness gets higher and higher, it is actually slowing you down more and more. So what you need to do is, and you'll see in a second, my Chalice of Light will fill up, and I call out to my teammates to take it, which they'll take it now, and I will become enlightened. I can then enlighten the lantern that we're on, and that will then remove the Weight of Darkness debuff, allowing us to move a little bit more freely. We can sprint and jump once that gets down low enough. Be careful to stand at the lantern for too long, as after a little bit of time, it does actually explode and will kill anyone within the vicinity of it. Enlightening will reset that Engulfed in Darkness debuff back up to like 55 or 56, whatever the max timer is for it. And it's important here to stay together as a fire team and just keep making your way to each lantern, making sure not to leave anybody behind. And there are these swinging pendulums that are very, very lethal, and you just have to make sure to avoid those. Now, at certain lanterns, there is going to be a bin that you can preserve the Chalice of Light. And I will show you what this does. It's very important that you preserve at every single location. That's how you get past this encounter. So you can see the bin there. Dylan is heading over, and he is preserving Chalice of Light. Now, if you can see there is no lantern illuminated. But once he preserves it and somebody reclaims it, it now illuminated the lantern there. So now that that's illuminated, we can actually enlighten it and take that Weight of Darkness debuff off of ourselves. The main point of this encounter is to preserve at every single preserve bin. You will get a message that pops up on your screen letting you know when you've preserved at all preserve bins, and that you can head to the this plate here. So once you've made your way through this entire encounter, avoiding all the pendulums and the holes in the ground, and preserving at all the bins and enlightening yourself, there's 16 of those lanterns in total. You'll make your way, just like the opening encounter, to this plate here, and someone will need to enlighten it, and that will start building a bridge so that you can get across. And you basically just need to play hot potato and stay alive on this plate. There's a lot of enemies that attack you here, so I would use things like Well of Radiance. And there's also going to be unstoppable ogres, so scout rifles are big here just to stun them and make quick work of them. After enough time, the plate will kind of explode, not explode, but it'll do a particle effect, showing you that the bridge has been built fully, and you can make your way all the way across. Just one person has to make it across, and then everybody will revive. And that is all you have to do for the first encounter. Okay, so our first set of statues for that guaranteed red border. This is right at the beginning of the second encounter. Starting for the rally banner, you'll go either left or right, and underneath here, our combination was left, left, right, so we're going to the left and illuminating this statue. If you've done it correctly, you will see a message that pops up saying a choice echoes into the future. So the second encounter, which I consider to be the most difficult part of this raid, but it's very, very doable. So what you need to do is you need to get 5 swords and a Chalice of Light buff across to the other side. The only way you can pick up a sword is if you are enlightened, and the only way you can cross the bridge is either with a sword or with the Chalice of Light buff. So what we did was we made sure everybody on this side was enlightened before sending anyone over to the other side. Dylan was our last guy to go over, so he would take the Chalice of Light buff and go to the other side and start ad clearing and take Tractor Cannon to weaken the gatekeepers. Basically, we would split into 2 teams of 3. 3 people to be on plates on this side, and then 3 people to go over first with swords and the Chalice of Light buff. And so what that looks like is, in a second, I'm going to have a screen and a screen here, so you're going to see a pop-up. So basically, you're just ad clearing on those plates, and then once everybody's enlightened, you can see we already have 1 sword in the top right, and then a person running with the Chalice of Light buff. And so you're just running over, and you're going to place the Chalice of Light buff in the preserve section here so that you don't have to worry about that anymore. And then that person will then pull out a tractor cannon to just weaken the gatekeeper, make it easier for the people with the sword relics. And then from that point on this side, you're just going to keep ad clearing, while the people on the other side are just also ad clearing, trying to stay alive, and then killing sword bearers so an enlightened person can pick up a sword to head over. So make sure if you are on the initial spawn side, you are always standing on those 3 plates. That way the bridge is maintaining its being built, and the totems do not wipe and kill everybody. So they will call out once all 3 people are on plates on the other side. So you'll have to stand on middle and then the left and right plates, just like this side. It's kind of like a mirror version of it. And that will allow everybody to get off of their plates on this side. And then basically you just kill a sword bearer and that next person goes. For survivability, I would go up these stairs that we are heading to right now. If you go up high enough on the stairs, enemies actually just don't come to you. So you can actually just chill and stay alive. There is no timer on this raid, so just take your time and play it smart. And look for opportunities, essentially. There are going to be barriers and wizards that spawn that can be run killers. And basically just one at a time, you're going to be killing sword bearers and then taking that buff across. People on the other side, if you have ranged weapons, you'll obviously have one person over here by themselves. So if you can have snipers and shoot across just to make it a little bit easier for the person that's alone over here, which in the scenario it was me, but I had invisibility, so it made it really, really simple. So just make sure you're using something for survivability. And then once you come to this side, you don't need that bridge built anymore, so everybody can get off of plates. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to kill my gatekeeper, except I'm going to do a little dippy-doo so that they can tractor cannon it. Dippy-doo, and then I'm going to kill him. And you'll see what this looks like. So as soon as you kill your gatekeeper, you'll see a waypoint pop up where I can then preserve my sword. Once all 5 swords have been preserved, as well as the Chalice of Light buff, you're going to get a bunch of barrier knights, wizards, and ogres to spawn. At that point, basically, it's just ad clear. Just kill everything. On this side, you need to make sure that you are also passing the Chalice of Light buff so that people are enlightened, because you will have to kill gatekeepers one last time. So make sure you just pass around that Chalice of Light to get everybody enlightened, and then eventually some gatekeepers will spawn, which you can see. You'll know because the waypoints will pop up for the swords. So you can see those gatekeepers are coming out now. So 5 more gatekeepers will spawn. So again, we just had someone tractor them, and they went down like butter. And after you've killed the 5 gatekeepers, that's it. You've completed the second encounter. Congratulations. All right, so for our second set of statues, this is going to be directly after that second encounter. This is the left side. Our combination was left, left, right. And then obviously the right one would be just on the complete opposite side, but this is the left statue. So you go up to it, you activate it, and we will get that same message, a choice echoes into the future. All right, secret chest number 2. This might be the most difficult secret chest to get into a raid. Basically, you're going to pick up the Chalice of Light buff, and you can only go through that greenish wall when you're enlightened, and you have to do this quick, very, very fast. So I'm going to leave this entire section in. So basically, you're going to make your way through this thrallway, and to take away the green wall so that the rest of your fire team can get through it, you have to kill that Shrieker. So call it out. Somebody will take your Chalice of Light. When you're enlightened, go across the other side. Use rockets or supers, whatever can take down a Shrieker fast. Once you kill that Shrieker, your teammates can then follow up with you. And you're just going to continue passing that buff, killing the Shrieker, allowing the rest of your team forward. Now, if you can see right here, I'm trying to look at it. There's a door that I'm like staring at. You have to plant the Chalice of Light buff before that door closes. Once you do that, then you can pick up the secret chest. Like, the door will not close. If you don't do it in time, the door will close, and you cannot get the chest inside of it. So Dylan is hurrying up. He's running over with the Chalice of Light and plants it, and look how close we were. That was a fast encounter, and we were that close. So it's you just got to make sure that you're on your A game, and you're very fast with this. And then, if not, you can always kill yourself with rockets if you feel like you're going too slow and kind of reset it. Encounter number 3. All right, so kind of a little trick of the trade here. You can actually pick up the Chalice of Light buff before even starting the encounter, which is what our main man Terra over there is doing. For this encounter, you're going to have at least 3 people enlightened to start off with. To kill wizards, and I will kind of show you what that means in a sec. So I'm going to go ahead and skip to the part where we all have enlightened so that we can start the encounter. So you have to kill a bunch of knights here. So basically you're going to be making your way, killing a bunch of yellow bar knights. I would split into 2 teams of 3, one going left, one going right. And once you kill enough knights, there is a Shrieker that is going to spawn. Once you kill that Shrieker, then it will spawn a bunch of wizards in a bunch of different rooms that are blocked by those green barriers that we just dealt with for the second secret chest. And that's why you need to be enlightened, so that you can cross that to kill the wizard on the other side. Killing those 3 wizards will start the damage phase. If you don't one-phase the boss, you'll have to do it again, but this time there will be 4 wizards. And if you don't kill them on that second phase, then on the third phase, you'll have to do it again, but you'll have to have 5 wizards. So you'll have to re-enlighten everybody and go kill the wizards all over again. So you can see here, we're just ad clearing. We know that knights kind of spawn in the middle here, so we're just waiting for them to spawn. So we split up 2 people with Wish Enders so that they could kind of look through the walls to see where a wizard and a Shrieker was. So I am one of those Wish Ender people, and then we have somebody on the left side that's using a Wish Ender as well to look for wizards on their side. So you'll see what that means, or what that looks like in a second. And then there you go. Your Shrieker has opened up. Go ahead and kill your Shrieker. And luckily, because we're already enlightened, we don't have to worry about passing around the buff. So I'm just going to immediately go look for wizards. So this is going to be considered spawn right, was what we did for our callouts. So there's spawn right, spawn mid, spawn left. So we have a wizard spawn right and spawn mid. And then if you can see, there's a tower in the back right. So that's back right top and back right bottom. And then there's a wizard on the back right top. And there's also a back left top and bottom as well. But you call it out, you designate who's getting the first call out, second call out, and then I was getting the third call out since I was already going to be at that wizard anyways. And then you announce when you're going to go in. And once you kill that wizard, you're going to get a debuff called Dark Liturgy, I think is what it is. And also it'll pop up just after enough time as well. And that is your damage phase, basically. So that is the amount of time that you have to do damage. Now, the thing with this boss is if you don't do enough damage, it will actually be a wipe mechanic. So if you can see the health bar right there, if you have to at least do that much damage to avoid a wipe. So what we used for this encounter was div and linear fusions, and we almost one-phased her. We probably could have if we just kind of tightened it up a little bit. But she is a very, very easy to kill wizard. So div and linears, and you shouldn't have any sort of problem with this boss. Make sure you use a well, because there's going to be a lot of knights and thrall around you. So I would throw a well on the plate that we threw it on, and honestly, it's a very, very easy encounter. So we got so close. Look at that. That was like somebody needed to sneeze on her. But basically, after you do that, you don't need to worry about killing any Shriekers or any knights again. You just immediately start enlightening everybody again, and you go and kill your wizards again. But of course, this time it's going to be 4 wizards that you're going to have to kill. And I want to remind you, if you do not kill Iryut on this phase, then there will be 5 wizards the next time around. But because she is so spongy, and as long as you're using div and linears, you should be able to 2-phase no problem. So we're just waiting for the 4th person to kill their wizard, and there you go. And that's all there is to it. Third encounter is a very, very, very simple one. Our third and final statue. Again, this is why I preface it this way. This is going to be from the rally banner looking towards the encounter. So we had left, left, right. So yes, when you're looking at the statues from the way I was, this is left, but it's going to be from the rally banner looking towards the encounter. So this one will actually be the right statue. Just make sure you keep that in mind. And then if you've done all three correct, you'll get a balance is reached, and then to the victor goes spoils, yada, yada, yada. So, finally, our big bad Crota. So, this encounter is really not that bad, just requires a little bit of coordination. So what you need is you need 4 people enlightened. Or at least this is how we did it. 3 people to hit Crota with a sword, and 1 person for Oversoul. So what you need to do is pass that Chalice of Light buff around just like every other encounter, with 3 people picking up the sword so that you can hit Crota with it. So the only thing that changes with this encounter as far as the Chalice of Light is you can only exchange it in these little wells of light. You can kind of see it up there to my right. So I'll show you what that looks like right now. So Dylan has the Chalice of Light buff, and it's the thing I'm standing in right now. So Dylan has the Chalice of Light buff. And basically, we're just waiting here. So he's going to call it out. We're going to go up. And once we're in here, we can exchange it and then get out. And you need to get all 4 of your people enlightened so that when you kill a sword bearer, the enlightened people can pick up a sword bearer. But of course, again, leave 1 person enlightened because you have to be enlightened in order to damage the Oversoul so that you do not wipe. And you'll see it during the damage phase here. So I am about to have my Chalice of Light filled, so I'm heading over to the well, and I'm going to exchange it out with Exodus here so that I can continue my duties. So there's going to be these Boomer Knights up here in these towers. There's 2 on this side, 2 on the other side. You have to kill them. Once you kill those 4 Boomer Knights, you will spawn Ogres and a Sword Bearer. So you can see these Ogres spawning now. You can see the Sword Bearer right next to the Ogre. And so basically you'll have to kill 6 Boomer Knights to get 3 sword bearers to spawn. And once you have 3 swords and 1 person enlightened for the Oversoul, that is when you can start your damage phase. So we should all have 3 swords now. So what we did is we tractored and then welled at his feet just to kind of keep us alive. And once you've gotten rid of his shield, just go to town on him with swords, supers. I use Wither and a Falling Guillotine. If you use Bequest with Surrounded, Dill just did this last night, and he got like 7 million damage on a damage phase. I got 6 million on this one, which was my highest damage phase I've done, but 7 million is crazy. So I might do another video on that, but we'll see. But yeah, you just keep damaging, and then Oversoul, you see the debuff for Oversoul on the left. When it gets to about 3 seconds, have the person shoot it with like a fusion rifle. You do have to do a good bit of damage to it, so don't use like a auto rifle or anything. Actually use something that hits pretty hard. I would recommend a fusion rifle. And once you've shot that Oversoul and he gets his shield back, basically you just rinse and repeat, get 3 swords, damage him again. Now, once you send him to his last stand, get away from him, because he'll do like a big like area of effect, like push away, and just could knock you off the map, things like that. So his shield goes back up because we got him within that threshold, so just kind of jump away for a sec. And once the Oversoul debuff timer starts counting down again, that's when you can start damaging him. So you have 20 seconds. So since that person did not shoot Oversoul because we got him to do his final stand, they'll still have it, so they can shoot Oversoul here again. And just do as much damage as you can. 5 seconds, 4, 3, they're about to shoot Oversoul again, and then gives you another 10 seconds to kill him. And that's all there is to it. Crota's really not that bad. If you guys have any questions on the raid at all, please leave it in the comments down below. The 3rd secret chest has not been found. I think we have a few theories on where it might be, so I will do a video on that. But let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll talk to y'all later. Love you, bye.